Good morning. In this video, we are going to solve a quadratic by completing the square. So let's do the first example, which is pretty simple, and then we're going to do the really tough one. So solve x squared plus 4x plus 1. So to solve by completing the square, it's important that the coefficient of x squared have to be 1. Okay, in our case we are lucky. In this case the coefficient is 1, so that makes our life easier. So the first thing you do when you have x squared plus 4x plus 1 equal to 0, you have to bring the constant over to the right hand side. So to do that, you minus 1 on both sides. Okay, so you become x squared plus 4x, this cancel out, equals to negative 1. So that's the first step. Now you want to make it the coefficient of x squared to be 1. We are lucky, then it's 1, so we don't have to do anything. Now we want to make it a perfect square. So what we do, we're going to take 4 out, okay, 4, and we are going to multiply by half. Okay, so when 4 multiplied by half, you get 2, and then you need to square that number, and we need to add 2 squared to both sides of the equation. So in this case, it's going to be x squared plus 4x plus 2 squared equals to minus 1 plus 2 squared. Now you can make it into perfect square. This means if you factorize them, it's going to be x plus 2 squared. And on the right hand side is minus 1 plus 4 is going to be 3. We are nearly there now. Okay, so to solve this, you have the square root of 2, the square root the answer. So x plus 2 is the square root of both sides is the square root of 3. Okay, when you square root both sides, that's what you get. Then the answer is going to be x plus 2 equals to plus minus square root of 3, which is equal to plus minus 1.732. Put in your calculator, square root of 3 is plus minus 1.732. And the last step is to solve for x. So x could be 1.732 minus 2 or negative 1.732 minus 2. Put in your calculator and the answer is going to be negative 0.27 or the answer is minus 3.732. So that is a simple version of how to solve a quadratic by completing the square. Now the real one comes in. Okay, so now we are going to solve when the coefficient is no longer 1. So the first thing, you are going to, as usual, put the constant on the right hand side. So what you do, you are going to minus 6 on both sides. So it will be 2x squared plus 7x, this will cancel out, equals to minus 6. Okay, great. Okay, now you must make the coefficient of x squared to be 1. So you divide by 2 across the board. 2 divided by 2 divided by 2. And the equation now become x squared because 2 minus divided by 2 it cancel out plus 7 over 2x equals to minus 3. Okay, now you want to make it a perfect square. You have to look at this number 7 over 2. So what you do, you're going to multiply 7 over 2 by half. It's going to be 7 over 4, and then you're going to square that number, and you're going to add that number to both sides of the equation. So it's going to be x squared plus 7 over 2x plus 7 over 4 squared minus 3 plus 7 over 4 squared. And this is a perfect square. This is actually x squared plus 7 over 4 squared. It's going to be minus 3 plus 49 over 16 because 7 squared is 49, 4 squared is 16. So it's going to be, there's no x squared here, to be x plus 7 over 4 squared. You simplify this. This is minus 48 over 16 plus 49 over 16, and that will be equal to 1 over 16. Okay, so now you have this equation, x plus 7 over 4 squared equal to 1 over 16. So you square root both sides. X plus 7 over 4 is the square root of 1 over 16, and that is 1/4 plus minus 1/4. And the last step is to solve. So x equals to plus 1/4 minus 7/4 or minus 1/4 minus 7/4. That will give you the answer of negative 6/4 or negative 8/4, and the answer is going to be negative 3/2 or negative 2. That is how you solve a quadratic by completing the square. So if you have any question, just leave a comment below, and I'll see you soon.